Tehran. We stay with the situation in the Middle East for Truth or Fate. Veda Gabel has joined us over by the big board. Veda, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mark.
Developments then in the Strait of Hormuz, tension around the crucial waterway escalating this Monday, just hours after US President Donald Trump announced his new plan to try to break the deadlock. Tell us the latest.
That's right, Mark. Donald Trump announced that Monday would see the US begin Project Freedom, what he described as a humanitarian gesture as the US tries to guide and free merchant ships stranded by Iran's closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Iran had previously warned that it would attack any foreign forces should they try to enter the strait, and it says that it had in fact fired warning shots at the US Navy. Now, shortly after that, Fares news agency, a semi-official news agency that is close to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, said that 2 of its missiles had hit a US frigate following a disregard for Iran's warning. It also said that the frigate had violated security protocols for transit and navigation, and that it had been forced to retreat and flee the area. Now, this drew a quick rebuke from US Central Command, which outright denied that any of its warships had been struck by Iranian forces. It in fact said that US forces are supporting Project Freedom and enforcing the naval blockade on Iranian ports. Now, in a second post, it also claimed that 2 US-flagged merchant vessels have, in fact, successfully managed to transit through the Strait of Hormuz and are safely headed on its journey. Now, however, they did not provide the names of the vessels. On the other hand, though, this has been firmly rejected by Iran's Navy, which posted saying no commercial vessel or tanker has passed through the Strait of Hormuz, and the claims by American officials are baseless and utterly false. It also reiterated that any maritime activities going against its rules would face aggression. Now, just the latest coming in now, as we've been covering here on France 24, a top US admiral said that 6 Iranian boats had been destroyed by the US Navy. Donald Trump has waded in and said 7, in fact, have been sunk. But regardless, this is something that Iran has outright denied, saying that the news is in fact false. So as we can see, Mark, it is very much a war of words between Washington and Tehran at this point. Both sides are trading barbs and trading claims of what is actually taking place in the Strait of Hormuz.
Indeed, Veda, something that Reza Sayeh was alluding to in Tehran a little earlier. This war of words, then, it's already led to fake videos, misleading users online.
That's right. Misinformation often works very quickly, and with the US and Iran as they're trading accusations over who has done what, fake news has began to spread and accumulate. For example, this video has racked up millions of views. It was shared by multiple different accounts on social media, claiming to show the 2 Iranian missiles striking the US frigate in the Strait. Now, as you can imagine, this caused some furor in the comments because, as we saw earlier, US Central Command denied that this had ever taken place. Now, multiple news agencies in their posts also claimed that the source of this video was Iranian news agencies, and that is where the video has come from. But these claims are very much false. Now, I couldn't find any evidence that the video had in fact been released by Iranian news agencies. What I will say is that the video is real. It's not synthetic. It's not generated by AI, for example, but it's certainly not linked to any current conflict because it is in fact 10 years old. Now, it was shared in 2016 by the DVIDS, which is the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service. That's the media hub linked to the US Department of Defense. We can see that same exact shot and explosion from our viral video. It is in fact a sinking exercise of the decommissioned USS Thatch, of which the participants included the US, Canada, Australia, and South Korea. Now, I also saw this photo circulating as well, again claiming to show the 2 Iranian missiles striking on the US frigate. Again, it claims to be released by the Iranian news agency. Now, again, it's misleading. I couldn't verify its exact source, but as we can see via reverse image search, it has certainly been circulating on the internet for at least 3 years. So war of words, war of disinformation, but there is a lot of fake news circulating because of this back and forth between Washington and Tehran.